What's up, guys? Regiment in this podcast is brought to you by G Fuel, the ultimate energy drink for gamers. G Fuel uses a special blend of vitamins, antioxidants, and other natural caffeine resources to keep you from having those jitters or even that crash that you normally would have from other energy drink brands. So whether you're having a long gaming session or you're just having a long day and need a pick-me-up, G Fuel definitely has you covered. G Fuel also has a wide array of flavors to choose from. But if you don't know what flavor you want to try, they also sell variety packs on their website, and they even come with a cool shaker. So head on over to gfuel.com and use promo code REGIMENT at checkout to get up to 30% off. That is REGIMENT, promo code REGIMENT down here at checkout to get up to 30% off. Everybody will know this person that we're going to talk about. She has been a meme for Jody for the longest time. The girl that's standing with her boyfriend at basic training, she literally shot a porn with somebody else before the graduation of basic training. She even wore the same outfit. So a man went to prison for making videos with soldier's girlfriend while he was in boot camp. You remember this? Remember this? Yeah. This chick here? Y'all seen her in the memes? This is a screenshot of her in the video. Selena Green Vargas of Rochester, New York is infamous for making at least 2 adult films while she was dating a U.S. Army soldier in 2014. So a photo of the couple went viral after somebody claiming to be a soldier posted it to 4chan, an image board website where users generally post anonymously. The users would have likely found her no matter what, but it was easier for them as she did not use the stage name and wore the same clothes to her boyfriend's graduation as she wore in her films. Vargas apparently tried to have the videos removed after her employer Toddler's Workshop. I wonder what she looks like now.
He was kind of being.
I didn't want to actually look at the porn. I wanted to. Crap! I'm gonna have to edit that. Son of a bitch! Of course, I didn't have us on the group photos when I was looking at that. I'm an idiot. I am so dumb. Welcome back, everybody, to the Smoke Pit Podcast. I feel wrong saying that because that is not what we're going to be anymore.
Yeah.
There's a rebrand coming.
Rebrand is coming, people.
A rebrand is coming. Just like
how these G Fuel cups were.
Your G Fuel, dude, your cup doesn't show very well.
Damn.
You have to put it closer to the camera. Your green screen's drowning it out. You know what?
It's regiment upon regiment.
You talking about this?
Regiment.
You talking about this? Look at all these regiment eagles and regiment graphics. It's like regiment. I'm wearing a regiment flannel. You got a jersey, a background. I got a logo. We got fucking G Fuel shakers. We have such a fucking hard dick for a regiment because we love it that much.
It's like indoctrination from active duty into a veteran organization on the outside.
Pretty much, like Chris has indoctrinated us all. We're now part of a cult. It's like they always say the Marine Corps isn't a fucking branch; it's a cult.
It's true. It's very true.
I mean, I wouldn't know
because the cultiest of all of the cults that we have.
It is. It's funny because the military is a lot like Stockholm syndrome, where you have like you hate it, but for some reason when you're out, you kind of want to go back to your abuser.
Yeah.
For some reason, and you can't explain why.
Even when you're in, like for me. Just like re-enlisting. It's like it's like being in a bad relationship. But like every time you're like, you're about to be done, you're like, I'm fucking out. You get some bomb ass sex and you're like, you know what? I'm gonna stick around for a little bit longer.
That's a lot like how the Call of Duty community is apparently. They just keep going back to their abuser. But anyway,
like
we have plenty of Call of Duty. We have plenty of Call of Duty shit to talk about today. But,
do we? I don't think we have any Call of Duty shit. Oh yeah, we do. I'm an idiot. I'm literally an idiot.
You're the one that sent that to me.
Well, they're not Call of Duty specifically.
Wow. You're like, oh, we don't have any Call of Duty news. And then checks notes.
I'm thinking like Activision, Bobby Kukic doing something to some other female. I don't know, threatening to kill more people.
Yeah. I mean, you don't. That's just how he is. A couple announcements real quick before we get started. Actually, pretty much one. Besides the rebrand, so be a lookout. We'll let you guys know about the new name that we have coming once we actually get graphics and shit done with it. But one announcement I want to talk about is Fleet Week. So Regiment is going to participate in Fleet Week in New York City this weekend for Memorial Day. So we have a booth at Fleet Week, which is at the Intrepid Museum on Memorial Weekend. So come see Regiment at their booth May 27th through the 28th, which is Friday and Saturday. Pick up some free merch and get some games on. Paradox is going to be there too, so you're going to get to check out Paradox's PCs and see how well they performed, the different kind of PCs they have. I wonder if they're going to bring the Pyramid there too. That'd be pretty cool. Paradox has a Pyramid PC. Have you ever seen it?
No.
So it's like a PC shaped like a pyramid. It's not on their website. It's not on their website. Which I don't know why it's not on their website.
Probably a bitch to build.
No, I think it's a bitch to get the case because the case is a pyramid. So it's probably like one of those. They have a very, very short supply of the cases, and they know that they would sell out and have a hell of a time getting another one. But they do have a pyramid case. I know that because not only have I seen it, but one of the guys that was at the American Legion convention last year bought one. Arpit told him to go online, let him know that's who he was, to let him know that hey, I want to buy a Pyramid PC. So yeah, they do have them. It's just they're just not publicized.
Fleet Week, huh? Fleet Week is pretty wild.
I don't even know.
To go to Fleet Week.
Is Fleet Week like a Navy Marine Corps thing?
Yes.
I figured because I'd never heard of it.
Fleet Week is like one giant fucking party, essentially. Like, I wouldn't want to go to Fleet Week now because I'm not single. Okay, let me understand. If you wear
you already understand. Why don't you help me understand?
If you wear your dress uniform to Fleet Week, you're getting fucking laid.
That's not
probably multiple. You're getting free alcohol. You're getting fucked. Like, just throw that uniform away, essentially. Especially for the sailors, because we go do it in our dress whites. So, have that dress whites and understand that you'll never wear those dress whites ever again, probably. Because they're going to get fucked up somehow.
I kind of wish I was still in the Army when they finally cleared the pinks and greens uniform.
I've heard it looks pretty good.
Dude, they're the World War II brown uniform. They're very retro. They're very nice. They're extremely expensive. They're like $1,000 for them. So, that's the only thing. They don't issue them. That you have to buy them, but they are approved. Well, yeah, you have to buy all your shit, but usually new recruits that come into basic training, they get issued their first dress uniform.
Maybe we pay for our shit,
and they don't issue the pinks and greens. They issue the dress blues, which is
y'all didn't have to pay for your shit.
Not at first, no. You only have to pay for it after your issued pair. So if you need a new uniform at some point, which I did, because which pissed me off because I tried telling the tailor, which of course it's basic training, they're not going to listen to you. But I told them when they were fitting me for the dress uniform, I said, hey, you might want to, because they start fitting you more than halfway through your cycle. So by that point, you've lost a fuck ton of weight and you're at the skinniest that you probably will ever be in your life. And then they give you the uniform based off those measurements. So I told them, hey, make this a little larger because this will not fit me in about a few months. Probably 6 months at the longest. It is what I'll have with this. But how dress uniforms work, you never wear them again. You wear them probably on a very rare occasion once a year. Outside of that, you never wear it. In fact, I wore my dress uniform one time in my entire time of being active. Once. I wore it once. I can't remember what it was. I know what it was for. We went to the St. Barbara's Day Festival in Italy, and it was like a field artillery thing. And that was literally the only time I ever wore it. And in fact, I hadn't even worn the one that I was issued. I had to buy a new one because I couldn't fit into the one that was issued to me. My arms
were on them roids.
Yeah, I was stacked. My forearm wouldn't fit in the sleeve. That's how big my arms got. And I was like, I guess I'll go to the tailor and try to see if they'll taper this down. And then I went and they looked at me and they're like, this is not possible. You have to buy a whole new uniform.
Bullshit. Our first $700 in the Navy is taken out of our first check to pay for uniforms.
That sucks. Can't relate, but yeah, that's They didn't charge us for our uniforms like at all. So our
Well, you guys
first,
have prisoners do your uniforms, don't you?
huh?
Don't prisoners make the army uniforms? Like the army camis, at least?
No, blind people do.
That's a change.
And it
That
even
explains a
says
lot.
it really does explain a lot. Like blind people make, it's not, prisoners don't make the dress uniforms. Like it's an actual like sweatshop, which you would think prisoners are. They're prisoners, but in a different way. But our camis, like our OCPs and shit, those are made by like some organization for the blind, where it's basically like blind people are doing it. And there was plenty of defects in my uniforms where I was like, that tracks. Like it tracks that a blind person made this. You would have to be fucking blind to mess this up. Like buttons not in the right place, or fucking
I just picture
not
like
lined
someone
up
making
right.
that joke. Like, did the fucking blind person make this? And like, actually,
Yes,
they did.
In fact, yes, they did. They did make that. So, but yeah, our OCPs were nice because actually no, I think it's the new uniforms are like that. It's not button up anymore. It's a zipper.
I can't stand the zipper. Like it's convenient, but it just seems so.
I like the fact that the arm pockets and shit have zippers now instead of like Velcro. Because
the arm pockets. The fuck are you talking about?
Our uniforms.
Oh, your sleeve?
Our sleeves, yeah. We have sleeve pockets. So like where our patches go, that's a pocket.
Yeah.
That's a whole ass pocket. But they changed it to where the Velcro where your unit patch goes is all one piece and not like a folded over pocket that just Velcros down. It's a zipper. So
the Navy started doing that shit too.
Well, it makes more sense because the Velcro not only does the Velcro wear off, but if you're in an operational environment, you don't want to be in there in the dark like ripping your fucking Velcro.
That's not the tactical way to do the fucking Velcro. Yeah, go. And then put it back down.
I've seen that. Lots to talk about today. A couple of Activision things, a Fortnite thing, and some military news. One pretty like good story. The rest are kind of like laughably holy shit. The other one, the incarcerated Marine one, we talked briefly about this person, but I don't really know what her deal is right now. It didn't say anywhere in the article that me and you read on that one episode about her getting arrested.
No. It's been going on for a while. New things have been developed. I've seen some Angry Cops videos on it. I've seen some Nikki MGTV videos on it. She's getting fucked by the system because she said, I mean, we'll get into it.
We also have some guests coming in June, so keep an eye out for that. Did you hear back from the one that you?
I have not yet.
Oh,
I think I'm gonna send them a message on Twitter since that's where we first interacted.
Yeah,
because they said to send him a message on the email, but he also said if they couldn't get a hold of the Twitter, so I'm gonna send basically what I sent in the message on the email on the Twitter.
So we have 2 locked in. 2 we're still waiting to hear back about, and
one will be locked in. We just need his contact info.
Well, one of the 4 is locked in. We just need to figure out a date and to get his info. Blake is trying to get us in touch with him. He said he sent him a request on Discord to get him into the group, so that'll be a good time. It's another military TikToker. You guys have probably heard of him. But we do have a couple other guests. One is a YouTuber. Another one is kind of a organization that I followed on Facebook for a while. And another one is just I never heard of him until he was brought up to me. So we got some guests lined up. And then another one, which is probably going to be the biggest one, which we're waiting on Hatfield to coordinate with to get. So
yep.
Keep your eyes out. Keep your eyes out. Keep your eyes open for those. So
as well as the name change.
Yeah, as well as the rebrand. So we're gonna have a new logo, new graphics, new name.
Same bullshit.
It's gonna be the exact same thing that you get right now. It's just gonna be called something different. And the biggest reason why we're changing the name is because there's a lot of larger organizations. Well, not larger organizations, but there's a lot more prominent groups that have a podcast called the Smoke Pit. So
Yeah.
we're rebranding because we are newer than they are, and they've had the name before us. So it's kind of like weird that, you know, their podcast is called the Smoke Pit, and they want to be a guest, and they want us to be a guest. Hey, you should come be a guest on the Smoke Pit. And I'm like, we host the Smoke Pit. Like, wait, what do you mean you host the Smoke Pit? We host the Smoke Pit. You should be a guest on our Smoke Pit. Well, okay. Do you want to be a guest on our Smoke Pit? It gets confusing. So we're going to change the name for that reason.
It's going to be a better name.
It's going to be a better name. I promise. It's not going to be something stupid. It could be something
Well,
stupid.
It would be something stupid, but like funny stupid.
It's funny stupid, makes sense, you know, brandable type thing. It's not going to be something that doesn't make sense, but
and when you search it, you'll probably be able to fucking find us.
That too, yeah. You'll be able to find us a lot easier, I promise. All right, so first thing we're going to talk about is the DoD announces the implementation of the Brandon Act. So I don't really know what the Brandon Act is. I've heard briefly about it. I'm sure we'll find out in this article. So today, under Secretary of Defense Personnel and Readiness Gilbert Cisneros signed a policy to implement the Brandon Act and improve the process for serving members to seek mental health support. So our greatest strength is our people, and we are committed to their well-being, said Cisneros. Therefore, yeah, we totally believe that. Therefore, I firmly believe that seeking mental health treatment is a sign of strength and resilience. This policy, spurred by the passage of the Brandon Act, is an important step in ensuring that our service members are able to seek mental health treatment and how they need it. We honor Petty Officer Brandon Caserta's memory by ensuring that our military services have procedures and processes in place to allow service members to seek help confidentially for any reason at any time in any environment, and aim to reduce the stigma associated with seeking mental health care. I wish this was the thing when I was in, when I wanted to see somebody, but they were like, oh, you could go see the chaplain, or don't be a pussy, you didn't go to Afghanistan, that kind of shit, you know?
Yeah. I see the good parts that that's going to come from this, but as someone that also works in that profession, I see the bad parts coming too.
I mean, it's always a
two-edged complications
sword
with it.
It's always a double-edged sword. So the Brandon Act is a law that creates self-initiated referral process for service members seeking mental health evaluation and aims to reduce stigma by allowing them to seek help confidentially. The Brandon Act is named after Petty Officer 3rd Class Brandon Caserta, who died by suicide in 2018. The legislation was signed into law by President Joe Biden on December 27, 2021, as part of the National Defense Authorization Act of fiscal year 2022. But we're going to cut pay, so there's that. The DoD policy directs the secretaries of the military departments to establish policy, assign responsibilities, and provide procedures for service members to request referral for a mental health evaluation through a commanding officer or supervisor. The new process allows service members to seek help confidentially for any reason at any time in any environment, and aims to reduce the stigma associated with seeking mental health care.
So the big thing for this, honestly, at least on the Navy side, is right now, so like at least for my area and for the clinic here, you have to see either your primary care provider, your ship doc, somebody, and get a referral put in.
Yeah. You have to get a referral, which is a daunting process, especially when you're active.
Yeah, and it takes a while sometimes, like, because that referral process can take a minute for the doc to send it, then it to get to the next echelon for them to review it, and then for you to get that call back, if you get a call regarding the referral, if you don't have to call yourself, and then get it scheduled. So this is, I think this is one of the good parts where someone should be able to be like, yo, I want to make a mental health appointment. You should be able to fucking schedule that.
Yeah. The other thing that I have to say is the fact that this even has to be a law for this to even happen is a problem. Like, it just shows that, like, there shouldn't be a stigma. There should be something something needs to break the stigma. Because I noticed this when you have the stigma when you're in of seeking mental health care. There's that stigma behind it. But why? Because almost all of those motherfuckers that are going to give you shit for going to do that are the same guys that, you know, that struggle themselves, or, you know, are trying to be advocates for getting people help and shit when they get out. It's like, why is it different when you got out? You know,
It's 'cause I think now a big part of the stigma comes from the shitbirds that will abuse it. So like the people that use it to like get out of training, or like it's all mental health is only an issue for them conveniently timed when something else is going on.
I've seen that. There was a kid that like who was trying to get out of deployments. Like he was threatening to kill himself when the deployment came down.
Yeah.
And then so they pulled him from the roster for the deployment. And then when everybody shipped out, he was like, I want to go. And they're like, you were literally talking about killing yourself because you were going to go. And he's like, and he felt bad that he missed out, that he was missing out. So he wanted to go. So then they're like, okay. So they put out orders for him to go again. And guess what? Guess what he did? He did the same shit, threatened to kill himself. So the stigma comes from people that are abusing it like that. And it sucks because that's also rooted into people that actually do need help are now struggling to go get help because of the stigma, because they're like, oh, you're just trying to get out of shit. And it's like, no, I really should go see somebody.
I think that's what the new stigma is now. I think a lot of majority of people now understand and accept that it is okay to like talk about shit and that like you should get help for stuff. But the new stigma is the people that ruin it for everybody else.
But that's always been a thing. So anyway, so implementation of the policy will occur in 2 phases. In phase 1, which will be implemented within 45 days, the military departments will establish procedures to implement the policy for all service members on active duty. In phase 2, the military departments will establish procedures to implement policy and for all service members not serving on active duty. Additionally, the Defense Health Agency will work closely with the military departments on education and training to enable military departments to educate all service members on the process to seek support by requesting a referral or a mental health evaluation.
That's not going to go well.
No, it's not. So I can already see that not going well already. You're putting it in the hands of like your troops.
Yeah. Unless someone from medical gets appointed as like a representative, or like someone from mental health goes to the different commands or something, like a big town hall meeting or all hands, and then they do that training.
I think it should
that would make sense.
I think it should be chaplains and medics and corpsmen. Chaplains and medics should be the only people that, you know, this shouldn't be. I mean, I'm sure it's going to be like a selected group of people that's going to be doing this, because I know that like for like all the sexual harassment stuff, it's like, you're an NCO, guess what? You're in charge of this. You're an NCO, guess what? You're in charge of that. And instead, like, I hope it's not going to be, you're an NCO, guess what? You're in charge of mental health referral. It's like, that's not even my fucking lane. Why do you want me to do that? It should be like medics and chaplains, people who do have to deal with medical shit or like mental health shit in some way. When it comes to like that is a person that people go to for issues, you know, for issues when it comes to medical shit, which mental health is a medical thing, especially like a spiritual level or a mental health level. The chaplain is an option to say, hey, I need a referral to go see mental health, and not be an option to say, you could talk like how they would for me. Oh, the chaplain is your option to like get any kind of help. Like, no, I don't want the chaplain to be the person I go to. If the chaplain was like, yeah, he'll be the one to refer you to a therapist, then cool. But that wasn't the case. The chaplain was the end all be all. So I was like, no, fuck that.
So this is going to be the good part, like that people can get the help. The bad part though is also the same thing. People can directly go to request those appointments. And that the downside for that aspect, and what I mean is, I get a lot of patients, at least where we are, for the people that we see, because we're an operational clinic. Most of the people that we see are people that are trying to get out. Very few of the people that I see are have been in for a bit and they're trying to work through some shit, or like some shit's going on.
Yeah,
a good majority of them are like, their literal entire goal is to get out of the military, and they've been in for like a year, et cetera, et cetera.
So they're using it as a means to an end, pretty much. Instead of
and
using it as a resource for help.
That's kind of where the referral process has become so stringent in some places, because of that aspect, especially I feel like within recent times. So it's literally, like you said, double-edged sword, to where it's great for those people that actually need to get that care, and it's a fucking pain in the ass to get that care in all aspects. But it does suck because it's also going to make it easier and more convoluted with people that are going to utilize it to just go themselves to be like, yo, I want to get out.
Yeah.
This is the route that I think is the best to do that.
Looking at it like, oh, this is my out. So a full continuum of mental health and wellness support is available to service members worldwide. In addition to requesting referral for mental health evaluation through their commanding officer or supervisor, service members will continue to have the option to contact their local healthcare provider directly. Additional mental health resources include the 988 Veterans Crisis Line, which we all know works great, Military One Source, which we all know works great, and the non-medical counseling.
Military One Source does work pretty well.
Does it?
Yes.
It didn't work well for me. And the 24/7 Psychological Health Resource Center. So yeah, the Brandon Act is now a thing.
Well, Military One Source is great in areas that have docs that will accept their payment. Because I've had phenomenal, I would say, luck with Military One Source, because there was docs in the area that would accept that payment, and they pay for 12 sessions per issue. It's non-medical, so like the docs don't even keep notes ultimately, and it doesn't go back to your command.
Is it like kind of like urgent care? It's like, hey, I got this issue.
It's like minor counseling.
Oh, okay.
Like minor counseling, minor therapies type stuff.
Regiment in this podcast is also proudly partnered with Stack Up. Stack Up is another military gaming organization. The one thing different, though, is that they focus mostly on the mental health of veterans as well as the betterment of veterans alike. One of the programs that Stack Up has is their STOP, or Overwatch program, which is a 24/7 crisis support line for veterans. The thing that sets Stack Up's Overwatch program above all other crisis support lines, including the VAs, is the fact that this 24/7 crisis line is operated by trained veterans. So when a veteran calls in crisis, they're not just talking to a random person. They themselves are talking to a vet that has also gone through something similar and can relate to the situation. Their trained staff in this Overwatch program will help a veteran find the resources that they need to find help. And if the person just wants somebody to talk to, the Overwatch program is great for that too. Another cool thing that the Overwatch program does is that you don't have to sit there and talk on the phone with somebody. If you feel comfortable just doing DMs, they can definitely do that too. Another really cool thing that Stack Up has is their air assaults. Air assaults are where they'll take a veteran and fly them to conventions all over the country. This includes TwitchCon, Comic-Con, anywhere in the US, all expenses paid. And if a convention happens to be somewhere out west in California, Stack Up has what's called a Phalanx House, which is essentially a gaming lounge for all veterans to just go to. Stack Up will definitely hook you up with that. They have pool tables, hot tubs, and just a place to stay if you're out west. It's pretty cool. Another thing that Stack Up has is their supply crates. Now, what they'll do is they'll take gaming equipment, gaming consoles, and other cool swag and send it to either a veteran in need or a unit somewhere deployed or a unit that needs it. This is a great way to keep veterans connected and boost the morale of the veterans that need it. Every year, Stack Up has a charity called the Call to Arms. The Call to Arms charity is to help Stack Up raise the funds that they need for all the awesome programs that they have. Last year alone, they raised $625,000, and all of that money goes to keeping these programs going to help other veterans that need it. If you're looking to donate, we have the donation link down in the bio. But if not, go ahead and spread the word of this awesome charity and head on over to stackup.org and check them all out. That's stackup.org and tell them Regiment sent you. So, video game news, kids. It's time. Activision is known to be really great with a lot of things, and
so many things.
It's funny. It's funny that these kinds of articles are coming out because we all know Activision is like pretty fucking awesome when it comes to things that threaten their money and their responses for it. They don't do anything to improve the quality of anything for the player base. But instead, they look at the fact that players are playing other shit, kind of like how they did the whole, and this is my conspiracy theory and like part of me, of, you remember when file sizes, I don't know if they still are, but you know how Call of Duty file sizes, they are still massive for no fucking reason? And the updates were massive for no fucking reason?
Yeah.
And pretty much Call of Duty was taking up your entire hard drive. and how I firmly believe that that is a ploy by Activision to keep you from having other games on your hard drive, so you're stuck with Call of Duty.
I think so too.
Because they know that people are leaving. Nobody wants to play their shit as often. So what are they going to do? They're going to make it to where your only game that you can play is Call of Duty. They're strong-arming you.
Nobody wants to re-download shit. Like, this shit takes forever.
Right. Nobody wants to clear up space to re-download shit, which is why being on PC is great, because I can have multiple terabytes of fucking shit, and if I decided to get a wild hair in my ass to play Call of Duty, I can sacrifice the space. In fact, when I played Modern Warfare 2 for the little bit that I did, I immediately removed that shit from my fucking hard drive. And it cleaned up so much room when I did. And
I mean, you can have external hard drives.
Well, you remember my buddy Tony, right? So he played Modern Warfare and Warzone a lot.
And is that the one that never spoke to me?
Yeah. So like it finally got to the point where he ran out of hard drive space on his PlayStation. He couldn't update the game. The game took up so much space that the only game he had was Call of Duty, and the fucking updates were so large he couldn't update the game.
It's ridiculous
because of the file size. So, and why did I bring that up? And I bring it up because players are looking for better versions of Call of Duty or something, that they could play. And they are finding it with these other independent developers that are using pretty much free assets, open assets of older Call of Duty titles to make better versions of Call of Duty. And Activision doesn't like that because they don't get a fucking piece of this. Plus it's free, so no one's making any money off of it.
And the way you were saying, like taking a game like No Man's Sky, how massive that game is. It's like 12 gigs.
Right. And like Destiny 2. I remember looking at Destiny 2. Destiny 2 took up 15 gigs on my hard drive. Call of Duty took up 150.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck?
Even Battlefield is not that big.
No. There are games in scale and content that are larger than Call of Duty and take up a fraction of the space. So it's like, there's two things that factor into why their hard drives or their file sizes are so big. One, they're too lazy too time restrictive to compress them.
I was thinking that too.
Or two, Activision doesn't want them to, because guess what? If all they have is Call of Duty, guess what they're going to play? They're going to only play this, regardless of how much they hate it.
Until it backfires on them completely when they only have that choice. They're like, all right, fuck, I guess I'm just not playing Call of Duty in general.
I guess I'm just going to go live my life and stop playing video games or something. So I bring that up because Activision shut down Dream, a Modern Warfare 2 mod after 2 years' work. SM2 has officially been abandoned. So after 2 years of development, a huge mod for Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 is ceasing development, known only as SM2. And I think this is like the old Modern Warfare 2, right?
Yes. Well, so they had things from the most popular Call of Duty. So like Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 3, some Black Ops 3 stuff was in there.
And they
Black
mixed
Ops
it all
2
into
stuff
one.
was in there. Yeah, it was all into one. Like the map, like you could play with a Black Ops 3 gun and on a Modern Warfare 2 map. Like it was so badass and it was so smooth. And it looked like, it looked more like Modern Warfare 3. Like when you got a kill and all that shit. Because it was on the Modern Warfare 2019's engine.
So, known only as SM2, the massive mod promised to overhaul the original Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 with well over 100 weapons and revamped gameplay systems like the ping ability. 24 perks, dedicated melee weapon slots, party chat voice features, unique progression systems that were all promised in the SM2 mod as a dream game for Call of Duty players. Now, though, it's all shutting down. Earlier this week, a developer on SM2 was sent a cease and desist letter from Activision, demanding they stop all work on the SM2 immediately. The entire development team on the mod is complying with the cease and desist letter from the publisher, and all work on SM2 is ceasing with immediate effect. That's because Bobby Kotick probably said, "We'll kill you if you don't." This is a tweet from them. So today, a team member received the cease and desist letter on behalf of Activision Publishing in relation to the SM2 project. We're complying with this order and shutting down all operations permanently. Thank you all for your support over the last 2 years. SM2 hopefuls are gathering together on Twitter to mourn the loss of the prestigious mod. This has made me incredibly sad, one user wrote. And another adding, all my homies hate Activision. Good! Your homies should hate Activision. One popular post even uses that much memed press F to pay respects prompt from Call of Duty Advanced Warfare to mourn the passing of SM2 mod. You can get a glimpse of what SM2 would have been via gameplay video below. The mod truly would have been a gigantic overhaul of the classic Infinity Ward sequel. Seamlessly integrated brand new weapons and kill streaks into the shooter, and effectively breathing new life into what many believe to be the best Call of Duty game ever made. It's sad. It's a sad day for Call of Duty fans, and particularly classic Modern Warfare 2 enjoyers. For what it's worth, COD Tracker dubbed this project a dream game for any Call of Duty fan. So there are probably legions of fans out there really feeling this cancellation as a kick in the gut. A recent report claimed Call of Duty 2023 an extension of Modern Warfare 2, so there's at least good news for those who enjoy it. So they're going to make a new one anyway. Not these guys, but Activision. So what does this look like?
It's a long video, so you'll have to.
I know. I'm skipping through it. Interesting. But you know what? Activision didn't stop there. So Call of Duty X Labs project shuts down after cease and desist letter by Activision because you know what? They can't have enough.
A couple of people have made videos regarding this. So I guess this has been going on for, like I said, they said like 2 years, and it was working off of the engine of Modern Warfare 2019. But you had to have had purchased 2019 for it to work. So technically, that means that for this to work, Activision was profiting off of it, technically.
Because you had
to have the platform.
Right.
Yeah. And then recently they basically made it to where they had their own engine, I guess, and they were able to take it off of the 2019 engine. So you didn't have to have 2019 to play it. So Activision was no longer profiting from that.
Is this SM2 or X Labs?
SM2.
So because Activision was technically profiting from SM2's existence.
Yes.
Because now they no longer were.
Like letting it go off into the wind, like doing their thing. And then when it stopped being to where they couldn't benefit off of it at all, then they're like, hey, yo, we got to stop what's going on here.
See, Activision only gives a fuck when it affects the pocket. And that's the same case when it came. Remember the hacking thing in Modern Warfare 2019? When if you killed a hacker and unlocked shit, it unlocked everything for you if you killed them. Mm-hmm. And then that was the one hacking bug they finally fixed. They actually fixed that within a day of it being a thing.
Yeah, that's it.
And then all the other, because it affected the store. And that's why we always say, you ever notice that the store isn't ever bugged? The store is always fine. Everything else is fucked. You got hackers everywhere, and when a hacker is affecting the store, then they'll fix it. But if it doesn't affect their pocket, they don't give a fuck. Yeah, that's Activision. That's why I hate. That's why I'll never play another Call of Duty ever again. Like whatever one they release, as long as Activision is behind it, I will never touch it. And I actually kind of bummed out because I just started playing Sekiro, and apparently that was published by Activision. It's a From Software game. It's the same company that made Elden Ring. And they made a
Activision was the publisher.
Activision was the publisher because FromSoft is
they're the developer.
They're a developer, but like with Elden Ring, they put that out. Like it didn't need a publisher.
Well, those are always. I've mentioned this to you before. Those are always the best games when the developer is the one that is able to essentially be the publisher. The publishers only became a thing because gaming developers had terrible fucking marketing skills. Like they could make a game, but they're like, we're socially awkward. We don't know what the fuck. We don't know how to get this pushed out to people. And back when gaming was first a thing, the internet and streaming and all that shit wasn't around. So you actually had to market shit, right? Now that would never be a problem. Now we would never need fucking publisher. Like Activision, it's kind of EA. But like the major publishers where all they fucking do is the publishing aspect, like they pay for stuff and the marketing, etc. We don't need them anymore.
No.
Games can, like, developers
Games are now to the point where they
want.
developers and games sell themselves now. Like
Exactly.
you don't need the publishers anymore. Granted, you need the publishers for the funding for development, sure. And in a lot of cases, there's a lot of companies that went independent and have thrived from it. I mean, Bungie for a while was doing fine when they split off of Activision. Destiny 2 was doing pretty good. In fact, the expansion after they split from Activision was one of the best expansions they ever had. Granted, now it's because it's literally like a paid service to play the fucking game, which sucks, but it's understandable because the game is technically free to play. But it's in a way it's not. It's a subscription game. So Destiny has turned into, yeah, you can get the game for free, but if you want to do anything in the game, you're gonna have to buy all the expansions. So you have to pay like $100-something to even just play everything in the game.
And it seems like some of the best games that come out anymore are the ones that are strictly just where the developer acted as the publisher.
A lot of, like, FromSoft games. A lot of FromSoft games. I mean, Elden Ring. I don't remember seeing anything about a publisher there. So, and that was game of the fucking year, you know. And I mean, Sekiro was published by Activision, but oddly enough, you know, the more I'm playing it, the more it really doesn't feel like an Activision game at all. It's definitely a FromSoft game. It's almost like Activision just helped publish it.
And they're probably just a part of the marketing or some of the funding.
Because they didn't give a fuck enough, they just kind of let it be whatever it was, and it still did well and ended up being game of the year. So, but anyway, Activision shut down another company, X Labs. So 5 days after massive Call of Duty mod project was shut down by Activision called SM2, another significant development, X Labs project has been forcefully closed. Third-party software running Activision clients has been on a hunt by the publisher recently, as the company does not agree with mods developed by the community and are available freely to all the players. So X Labs project was a Call of Duty project featuring modded versions of the older franchise titles that restored all the elements and players had removed, including dedicated servers. Ooh, look at that. Improved security, anti-cheat, mod tools, and more. As this project used intellectual property that belongs to Activision, the company has the right to protect its assets and stop any third party from profiting from it. However, there's no information on why Activision is hammering down on community mods now when such Call of Duty projects have been around for many years. Like we said, money. They're not making money off of it. And this Microsoft deal, oh, you know what? That's actually going through now. Did you see that? The EU has ruled in favor.
Who did they threaten?
I don't know, but I know that because the only thing I can think of is that, like, well, the Microsoft deal might not happen, so they're looking to fucking make money somewhere.
There was some shady deals that went down there. I can almost guarantee that.
So Maurice Hemon, the leading developer of X Labs project, tweeted this after the cease and desist from Activision. We received a cease and desist letter on behalf of Activision Publishing to the X Labs project. Because of that, we are also going to shut down BO3, Black Ops 3. Thank you all for support. So, as Modern Warzone says, Activision has effectively killed any chance for players to enjoy Modern Warfare 2, Ghost, Advanced Warfare, Black Ops 3 online ever again. Please do not play any of these titles online. You will be putting yourself and PC at risk for the original servers for them. So the X Labs project had Ghosts, Modern Warfare 2 2009, Advanced Warfare, and Black Ops 3 clients under their belt. Community modders had been supporting and adding content even after the developers and Activision stopped supporting them. This stoppage allowed the games to continue to have an active player base, which most likely will drop after the latest shutdown. Plutonium Project, one of the most significant community mods remaining in the Call of Duty games, is still available for players. However, it is pretty risky, as it seems Activision is taking down third-party projects individually. The project has clients for Black Ops, Black Ops 2, Modern Warfare 3, and World at War, which might not be playable if the publisher decides to send the modders a cease and desist. Now we're going to jump right into them.
So the reason that the difference, I'll say, that makes this more scary for people with X Labs and Plutonium specifically is they weren't doing so. SM2 was kind of creating like its own hybrid Call of Duty, right? And XM or X Labs and Plutonium are mostly keeping it to where you can play the old games, but also in a safe manner. So now, like today, for example, we have dedicated servers. They're safe. Back in the day, it was all peer-to-peer. Remember when you would have host migrating?
Yes.
And like you would get fucking kicked if it didn't migrate, or like someone rage quit and the host migrating.
The game,
because everything was peer-to-peer.
Everything's lagged and stopped, and it was like migrating host.
Yeah, because all the connections were peer-to-peer. One, that was better for the lack of SBMM, because you can't have you literally can't have SBMM on peer-to-peer connections.
Fuck no.
That's the downside of not having peer-to-peer. But peer-to-peer is dangerous as far as the internet goes now, because those games now aren't upkept. There's no security systems on them anymore. And the ones that are there are so far outdated compared to what is around nowadays that you can literally, on a console, you can be playing an old version. You could go to Steam right now, buy one of the old games, and if you go into one of the lobbies, because they're all peer-to-peer, you can actually get malware and shit onto your computer because it's not safe. It's all peer-to-peer. So legitimately, shit on the Steam store can infect your computer security system.
I remember seeing a TikTok video of a guy saying, like, I decided to jump into the old Modern Warfare 2 or Modern Warfare. I decided to jump into Modern Warfare 3 for the first time in years, and it was flooded with hackers. It was it was nothing but hackers. Literally just fucking some of the craziest shit you'd ever see of blatant cheating, because everything was so outdated that everybody in there is cheating. There's no legitimate game.
Even on console, it's like that.
Oh yeah. I admit, when I played Modern Warfare 2 on console back in the day on PS3, I fucking absolutely used a modded controller.
Yeah, but everybody uses modded controllers now for the most part.
But it made semi-automatic weapons full auto.
Oh, you're talking about basically like a Cronus now.
What a Cronus was
like
back in like 2008 was what I was using, but it was like a wired controller. It wasn't a wireless option, and basically you could set it to like basically spam a keybind. So if I had the FAL, which was a single fire assault rifle, I can make it a full auto, and I was fucking people up with it. Now the problem was, it made full auto. It spanned, because it spanned the keybind. You couldn't efficiently use assault rifles or sniper rifles with it, because if you use like the Barrett
stutter effect.
Now, if you use the Barrett, you'd magnum like it was just like there's nothing you can do. If you use the full auto, it was just like stutter firing. Like it wasn't like a consistent rate of fire. But yeah, like it's loaded with hackers. But let's talk about Plutonium real quick.
And that's someone on Twitter talked about. They're like, it should be full of hackers. And they replied, they're like, we understand, yes, there would be hackers, but that's not even what we're specifically worried about. They're worried about the security, because you can get infected, essentially.
Yeah, you can get malware or all kinds of shit. So is Activision going to take down Call of Duty Plutonium? Now, this is like a theoretical piece here. So Activision is currently on a hot streak of taking down popular community Call of Duty mods by sending cease and desist letters to the developers. These third-party mods all allowed players to access older COD titles without any security hazards, as Activision failed to keep the game server up to date, allowing cheaters to run rampant. Now, SM2 and X Labs projects are the two latest community mods that have been taken down by the video game publisher this past week. Plutonium Projects is the only remaining major community mod that players can freely access, but there's a high chance of Activision taking it down. I guarantee you, by the end of the week or early next week, it might happen.
I think Plutonium is where modded zombies comes from. Like, people will create their own zombies.
Yeah, probably.
Maps.
So Plutonium Project currently has clients of older COD files, including Black Ops, Black Ops 2, Modern Warfare 3, and World at War. The mods clients allow players to play these titles without the risk of them losing their personal information. Currently, if players access the older titles on PC or console without the Plutonium mod and log into the official servers, they will become across many cheaters. The security in Activision official servers for their older Call of Duty titles has not been updated for several years, allowing cheaters to get players' IP addresses, inject viruses in their PCs or consoles, and carry out other dangerous activities. Plutonium Project circumvents such problems by having its own anti-cheat system that bans cheaters instantly and does not let them run rampant in matches.
That's funny. No, they don't.
What?
Oh,
that's Plutonium.
I'm thinking Activision.
No.
I thought they said Activision for a second.
Furthermore, the mod also provides players with more features such as dedicated servers, a built-in friend list, and additional content including guns and maps. Plutonium even put out a tweet. To clarify, Plutonium is okay currently, but Plutonium Project uses Activision IP, customizes it, and allows players to access it without the publisher's permission. Legally, Activision is fully in the right to take down such community mods, and the company has already taken down 2.
They're legally in the right, but they're not in the right.
Right. Meanwhile, SM2 was an up-and-coming mod for Call of Duty that was made available for free with all COD maps, guns, and modes accessible in one mod. The devs received a cease and desist a letter on May 17th, forcing them to shut it all down. X Labs was next. They received theirs on the 22nd, which was 2 days ago, which had clients for Ghost, MW2, Advanced Warfare, and Black Ops 3. Now these games are
5 days apart. We're only 2 days. We still got 3 more days to
I want to
reach that
say
threshold.
Probably Friday. It might come right before the weekend. If Activision decides to take down the next biggest Call of Duty mod available to players, Plutonium Project will also receive a cease and desist letter, forcing them to shut down immediately before developers decide on a legal battle. However, the mod currently remains online, and players should take advantage of it before older COD titles become permanently inaccessible. Gotta love them. Gotta love multi-billion-dollar companies shitting on the modders. Fucking Take-Two did this for Grand Theft Auto mods all the time.
Activision's also been going after people on Fortnite.
For what?
Like the creative. They've been shutting down.
I fucking knew that was gonna happen.
They've been shutting down maps and stuff of basically Call of Duty just in Fortnite.
Which is, I don't even think they're legally allowed to, because those are technically not their assets. They're just a visual representation of them.
I think if it's their exact likeness, and especially if the person is stupid enough and names it the same. Like I know I've played on an exact replica of Slums from Black Ops 2 specifically.
They should rename it and put a couple of things in there just to kind of tell Activision that they legally this isn't an exact copy of yours because I've got fucking dicks on the wall here.
Yeah, which I also think is hilarious considering you look at the newest COD with MW2 right now, and like 3 of their maps they've gotten sued over because they were exact representations of like the museum map.
There was a lot of there was a few maps that didn't come out because of that. Because they were
the museum map was one. The Forza sued them for the racing map.
They were also like facing potential lawsuits by people like for the operator skins.
Yeah, well, they have done that.
That has happened where it's like they were putting out operator skins that were basically stolen from other people. You know,
which is it's so ironic. It's okay if they do it.
It's okay if they do it, but if you do it, it's almost like the government. So it's okay if they do it, but if you do it, fuck you.
And they're starting to do the Fortnite thing too, where they're starting to do creator skins and shit.
Of course they are.
Like Tim the Tatman skin and Nick Merck's skin comes out next week.
Oh, cool. So this is about Fortnite. So Fortnite's new ranked mode is great unless you're a zero build fan.
Which I am.
I get what you're saying. I thought the ranked mode had zero build. I read
it does, but only one mode. So only duos.
After what feels like years of playing what players were asking for in ranked mode in Fortnite, Epic AG Games finally delivered. Ranked play is now available in the Battle Royale game, but there's currently one issue putting a dark cloud over what should be an exciting update, especially if you happen to be a zero build mode player. The issue is that zero build fans are only allowed to play ranked mode in the duos playlist. This means there's no option to play alone, with a trio, or a squad of 4. Why duo? That's weird. That's a weird choice. That's creating some problems to go beyond players getting a lack of choice, but with from which they're typically accustomed. Like any game, ranked mode tracks progress throughout matches in Fortnite. Players rank up and down the leaderboard, constantly competing against others across the globe. While the leaderboards for the game are split between zero build and build inclusive battle royale modes, they aren't split between the choice to play solos, duos, trios, or squad playlists. Not that it matters if you're playing zero build. Zero build mode sees removal of Fortnite's build mechanic, which is what originally set the battle royale game apart from other titles like PUBG. It's been a popular mode since launch, expanding the shooter's audience. However, the mode isn't ideally looped into the game's new ranked mode, as matches are limited to 2-player teams only. It's possible that this is a test to see if the extra server space for the additional solos, trios, and squads playlist are worth it, as build mode has typically always been more popular than its younger sibling. It makes sense on paper, but it feels self-sabotaging in practice.
100%. Why would you only have one mode that not a lot of people even want to play as a test to see if people want to play it?
I don't know.
That doesn't make sense. Like, if I don't want to play duos, I don't care if it's ranked or not. I'm not going to fucking play it.
So, wait, so the zero build mode is only available in duos?
For ranked. Only for ranked. You can play squads, street, and everything else.
Okay, so it's the opposite of what I was thinking. I was thinking that zero build was only available in duos.
No, only for ranked, it's only available in duos.
So
otherwise, it's still there.
It creates a lack of choice that Fortnite players aren't used that Fortnite players aren't used to. One that could stand to drive newer players who brought in by the zero build away. Being paired with a random partner in this game usually spells trouble when it comes to communication and game planning, which can be disastrous in a mode where matches are more high stake. For those who only play alone,
who wrote this article?
I don't know. For those who only play alone, there's no choice in the matter, and for the others, players will get left out. That does seem to be having an impact on the player base already. Live concurrent player accounts within Fortnite show a major gulf between ranked play. At the time of writing, ranked battle. It's me that's reading this fucking stupid. At the time of writing,
no, we know.
Ranked Battle Royale mode has 304,000 players, while Zero Build has around 83,000, with less options available for teams in different sizes. Zero Build is currently operating more as a niche mode.
That's still a lot of players for only duos.
Yeah.
It's a third, basically,
for duos.
When the other one has all 4. And they only have duos. Like, that's significant. Like, come on, just put them all in. You can already tell it's worth it.
So this article continues and says, what worries me most is the unavoidable imbalance created by the current implementation. Fortnite is one of the most competitive games on the planet, and not everyone who plays is on the same skill level. The shooter's audience ranges from high-level content creators to young children goofing around. Competitive players who might want to jump into a zero-build rank match are rolling the dice when they try to match up with a partner currently. They'll find themselves at a major disadvantage if they're not matched up with someone at their level.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine if LeBron James partnered up with a random basketball team of high school players against any NBA team. Those kind of impossible odds are going to be the norm for Fortnite players that are typically play solo, but want to get a piece of the ranked pie. Fortnite is a game that is known for giving players tons of choices on how they want to play. Whether it's playlist, play style, or player numbers, it's not usual for the game to limit players so much, especially after the big zero build edition. It's a weird test. If this is what they're really doing, testing this, it's strange. It's very weird.
Yeah, like, why wouldn't you have at least 2 modes?
2 versions of ranked? I don't know. Server space?
Well, no, I mean 2. So, like, if they had duos and trios versus just one, or like if they had 2 of the 4 to test it out, because technically that's 50%.
Yeah,
that's a fair test. I think that's a fair test. 50%. We're gonna test, see if this works out.
I think it's fair test too, but just one mode. Yeah, it's weird.
Where the regular one, we all knew the regular mode was gonna get all fucking 4 because that's the OG mode. We get it. the OG is always going to come first when it comes to Fortnite, regardless of how I think more players probably play the zero build now.
I think so too. Regiment in this podcast is also partnered with BR Paradox. BR Paradox is a company that specializes in custom-built PCs. So if you have an idea for a cool custom-built PC, they can definitely give you the hookup on that. But if you're not in the market for custom PCs, BR Paradox has a wide array of pre-built PCs that you could choose from at great prices. And if you're not in the market right now for a new PC, BR Paradox will definitely hook you up with an optimization. Optimizations take around 10-15 minutes to do, and they're very awesome. I highly recommend them. I had my PC optimized by them, and it's never run smoother since. BR Paradox also has a list of renowned customers ranging from LeBron James, Chris Brown, members of FaZe Clan, and even Angela White from your favorite orange and black site, if you know what I mean. So head on over to brparadox.com to get yourself a PC today or an optimization. And remember to use promo code REGIMENT at checkout. That's promo code REGIMENT down here at checkout. All right, some military news for all you military fans. A couple of these fucking articles I have for y'all are pretty fun.
They're going to be some good
You'll
ones.
know when you know. So incarcerated Marine fears for her life as she's subjected to phony charges and transferred stateside. So Lance Corporal Catherine Arnett, a Marine who's being retaliated against by her chain of command for refusing to take the COVID-19 vaccine and being so publicly outspoken about it, has been incarcerated at the Camp Hansen Brig, according to Marine Corps Base Camp Smedley Butler in Okinawa. Japan, she's been in there since January 2023. I thought, wait, they arrested her in this year?
In January, yes.
For not taking, but that was
so good.
But they don't, that's not even a requirement anymore by that point.
Exactly. The most recent, I'm going to say, if people want a great breakdown of this, watch the most recent episode of Angry Cops, because he covers it very well. Because he's a cop, so he also gives he Barney style breaks it down to understand what happens in the sequence of events of what they were trying to charge her with, how those fell off, and why those charges initially fell off, and then like what they're doing now.
And people wonder why no one wants to fucking get in anymore. So she's currently being transferred to Marine Corps Air Station Miramar Brig in San Diego, California. Lance Corporal Arnett expressed to her mother that she is fearful for her safety before, during, and after transfer, and based on the circumstances of her case, she has every right to be. Why was she locked up? Arnett was initially charged with several violations of the UCMJ back in May 2022, stemming from her refusal to take a COVID-19 vaccine. But they didn't require it anymore at that point either, right?
No, that was in September that came out.
But those charges were dismissed.
So at that time, it was in place.
Oh, here it is. Okay, but those charges were dismissed by her commanding general in September after a federal judge's August 18th order temporarily barred the Corps from punishing or discharging Marines who refused to take the vaccine on religious grounds. This rankled Arnett's chain of command, who initially charged her for failing to obey an order despite its unlawfulness. And they concocted new charges against her with the basis that these charges were being forgery. She was accused of forging her commander's signature on an official document, and new charges based on that incident were tacked on,
which were also found recently to be bullshit.
Here's a statement of charges. Article 86, unauthorized absence. Lance Corporal Arnett was directed to report to Iwakuni Passenger Terminal on 21st January 2023, but failed to do so. Article 87, missing movement. Lance Corporal Arnett was ordered to board rotator flight on 22 January 2023 in order to report to separation platoon aboard Camp Pendleton, California, in accordance with a separation order signed by the commanding general, First Ma. She intentionally missed the flight. 87B, breach of restriction. On 22nd January 2023, Lance Corporal Arnett was ordered into pretrial restriction. See enclosure 1. The same day, she broke the terms of restriction by refusing to stay in her barracks room. On the 23rd of January 23, the MAG-12 CO reiterated the terms of her restriction. It's very small print. That's why I'm having a hard time reading it. In terms of restriction, by refusing to stay in her barracks, and Mag 12 CO reiterated the terms of her restriction to her and asked if she intended to comply with said terms. She stated that she would not comply with the terms.
Because it was an unlawful order.
Failure to obey order regulation. This is Article 92. Since 1 December 2022, Lance Corporal Arnett has repeatedly disobeyed lawful orders to change her barracks room due to her recent PCA and to complete tasks associated with executing her separation from the Marine Corps, which was ordered by the commanding general, First Ma. And Article 105, forgery. Lance Corporal Arnett forged her then commanding officer's signature on an official document in order to regain defense travel service permission she had previously had revoked.
Which she didn't. She got shit revoked and she resubmitted. Like she resubmitted the paperwork to get the access back.
So it says, however, the problem is that the whole thing was made up. I wrote an in-depth about the buffoonery of her command charging her with forgery, and they knowingly let her work in her job for months after the supposed incident. I spoke with my legal sources in Okinawa who are familiar with the case, and I was told that after writing the above reference article, the Marine Corps was forced to drop the forgery charge against her because the evidence of her innocence was in black and white. In fact, the chain of command was so disconnected on what she had actually done wrong, an official spokesperson in Stars and Stripes said that she committed forgery and made false official statements, even though false official statements were never on her charge sheet. So all the other charges were predicated in the initial forgery charge. Had her chain of command not made up phony charges against her in the first place, she never would have been charged with failing to obey an order, thereby dovetailing into the failure dovetailing into the failure to report and missing movement charges.
Which means, so the way Angry Cops have broke it down was once he was like, if you get caught for something and they find other stuff after that you can be charged for, if what happened the first time, say, is deemed unconstitutional or whatever,
it negates all the charges.
It negates everything else that came with that too. Hence why we're talking about now, because everything else came after that. And the letter, that email right there, was from her fucking lieutenant colonel that was giving her kudos.
This right here?
Yeah.
So it says CNA number for Alaska is this. The Mar admin reference for the town countries conference wasn't on the base, but at the hotel. Thanks for your help. What is this?
Anyway, it was in regards to like her commanding officer. They knew what she was doing because she had to get the access back. So she resubmitted that paperwork and she was getting kudos for it.
By the same guy that was trying to charge her?
That I don't know. I don't remember that part.
So Catherine has petitioned her congressional representatives, but her efforts have gone in vain. Of course they did, because nobody in the government gives a fuck about us.
Nope.
The reason she's scared is due to the lack of justice she's experienced surrounding a year of her chain of command subjecting her to the poorly pieced together kangaroo court. Catherine is a young junior enlisted Marine, and her leadership wasn't about to let her get over on them. They violated her constitutional rights when they ordered her to take a vaccine, which wasn't FDA approved, while simultaneously ignoring her religious rights. She fought and she won. Then her commanding officer concocted phony charges against her while knowing all along she was working in the job that she allegedly forged her way into. It wasn't until I wrote about that they quietly dropped the charge while maintaining the others. Prior to her incarceration, 4 male Marines of her chain of command entered her private quarters and confronted her, which made her extremely uncomfortable. Catherine has given me a letter to publicly release upon her transfer. Among many things, says, I fully and consciously and willing declare that upon the movement I am taken into custody by military police or other entities to be transferred to Okinawa, California. I will not speak, I will not eat, and I will not consume any drink until I am permitted to speak to General David H. Berger. The actions taken against her are a travesty and injustice and have no place in the United States military. But you know what? The military and the government don't give a fuck about you because they will use you and exploit you. And if you don't fucking do what they want you to do and you get one over on them, like in this case, they will do everything in their power to make your life a living hell and fuck you as hard as they can on your way out. Because No one gets one over on the fucking commander. Fuck you,
How
commander.
fucking dare you say no and then also be well within your rights to say no?
It's
making me look bad.
It's toxic ass fucking leadership like this that people don't stay in, people don't join, why retention and recruiting numbers are an absolute low across the board on every branch. Shit like this. No one has confidence in their leadership anymore because leaders
I couldn't imagine why no one wants to stay in.
It's crazy. Like you have incompetent people. Like it sucks because there's the saying always goes, soldiers or troops that should stay in never do.
No, they don't.
They don't. The leaders that you want are the ones that never stay. The leaders that you don't want rise the fucking ranks all the time because that's all that's left. They are the reason.
And even the few and far between that you do get so fucking burnt out at a certain point that they either don't do anything anymore or they can't.
It's funny because when I was getting out of active duty, there was a platoon sergeant that was talking to me about this because he was asking me he's like, why do you want to leave? And I told him why. So I have no confidence in the leadership. Like the way that the leadership is going, the direction I'm seeing it get into is not something that I want to be a part of in an active duty environment. I don't want to go to war with these fucking people. I don't. Whatever war happens next, I don't want to go with these motherfuckers because they're going to get my ass killed or someone I care about killed, and it's going to piss me the fuck off. And the leadership is horrible. And he said, and he's like, you're right. And it sucks because a lot of soldiers that leave are the ones that should stay. Mm-hmm. And he said, what makes you think that if you stay that you couldn't be the leader that makes the change? And it's like, yeah, that's a good point. I could be the one that stays and helps implement the change in the way that leadership is going on. But in the grand scheme of it, the bureaucracy of it all, the way that things are, It's
exhausting.
It's not only exhausting, but it's a fucking long ladder to climb, you know?
It is. And it's a very slow progressive change.
Unless you have brass, nobody gives a fuck. Like you can take care of your guys at your level and below. Mm-hmm. When it gets higher than that, you can only do so much.
And I kind of noticed that so many people are like, oh, we've got to make this change. Think like shitty leadership, but in the other sense, they're also like those shitty leaders. They're like, oh, it's a problem over there. It's not a problem over here. I'm a great leader. They're not looking inwards. Like you've got to look at the overall picture. Like look within as well. Don't just say, oh, we got shitty leadership, but also what the fuck are you doing about it?
It's funny because I noticed a trend that like all the toxic leaders are fucking narcissists, absolute narcissists. You ever notice that? And
always.
It has this bad stigma that everybody that joins the military is like off their rocker and they're all narcissists. And it sucks because I kind of agree with it. Like a lot of people that join are like that. And it's because not a lot of people that join are like that. A lot of people in leadership are like that.
Well, the military does also instill a higher confidence in you as well. Just in general. Like
right.
In general, you hold yourself higher usually.
You have yourself at a higher standard.
Have that sense of pride. Yeah.
And it sucks because these fucking toxic leaders are so high up in the fucking chain of command, and there's only so much that like she can't do shit. Her only out is to talk to higher, providing they even listen to her, or talk to a congressman, providing they listen to her, which it seems like they're not.
She does have representation from, I think, the same people that helped Eddie Gallagher.
This sounds like the same unit that my buddy Mike was in. Like he went through
Marine Corps.
Yeah, he was in Okinawa. He got out. He went through some shit with his chain of command that made him get out.
Like I've had my own situation. Like we've talked about it on my crazy girl story.
Which one?
It's fair. Multiple personalities.
Oh yeah.
That whole situation happened when I was Greenside, right?
Oh, yeah, and they were trying to dick you down because...
Yeah, it was stupid shit like that, man. Like, none of it fucking matters. That's why, like, after 2019, or in 2019, people that were legally separated could fucking date whoever the hell they want.
Yeah.
Like normal people. Instead of getting dicked over by their command because they're like,
technically married. It's like,
we need to find something to fuck them on. We got them.
Like, oh, but they're not divorced. They're separated. It's not the same. It's like, but it is the same, you know?
Basically.
It is
Especially
the
when
same.
it has legal paperwork.
It's so stupid.
It's that type of shit, though. Like the Marine Corps is notorious for doing that type of shit far more than the other branches. Like the Marine Corps will fuck you for the dumbest shit.
And I don't understand why.
So hard.
I really don't understand why that is.
I don't know either. The Navy will do it too, honestly.
Yeah, I've seen the Navy do it. It seems like the Navy and the Marines do it because it seems like they have nothing better to fucking do, especially the Marines.
Well, the ship life is an incredibly stressful life. The op tempo is horrendous, and the way retention and everything is getting worse. People are seeing their quote unquote bad leadership in other commands. But at their command, they're the good leader, right? They're not doing anything bad.
It's kind of funny because with the retention being so bad right now, you would think that the leaderships would probably do something to try to not fuck their soldiers or troops.
No, they don't. They don't give a fuck.
Because it's like, they're leaving a lot. And they're like, we're kicking out a lot of people. People are leaving. We should probably, our numbers are looking really bad. We should probably stop fucking them over because we keep fucking them over. We're going to lose somebody.
And the downside is they're also probably getting fucked over from higher above them.
Well, that's
rolled downhill.
It's karma, honestly. Like if you're getting dicked down on by higher, leave it at your level. Don't put it down on your troops below you.
Yeah.
Like
if your marriage sucks, don't make everyone
right.
stay till
I knew plenty of guys. Their marriage was falling apart. They were going through so much shit, but they kept it there. They stopped it there. You could see it on them when they were at work. Sure, they would have some outbursts here and there because they were obviously stressed, but they would immediately apologize. Like, hey, I'm going through shit at home. I didn't mean to take it out on you like that. Stuff, and it's like a sincere apology where it's like, I get it. Like you're going through some shit. I get it, dude. Where it's like, you came to me and you apologized. Like that's how I know that you're you realized you were wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And it's understandable that you're feeling like that, but you recognize that you were in the wrong for it.
I'm more understandable as someone that actually does that. That shows you have a higher emotional intelligence than the person that's just gonna fuck everyone else over. They're just gonna keep you there all day.
There was an E5. There was an E5 that
Did you just fart and smell it?
No, my dog farted. There was an E5, his girlfriend or his fiance cheated on him while we were in the Baltics. And
this is a great segue.
And she ended up giving him the fucking clap. And that's how he found out that she cheated on him. And he fucking made our lives hell from that. And I'm like, I bit my tongue because I was like, he was an NCO and I'm not yet. But but the thing is, this guy became an NCO. We were both not NCOs. Then he became an NCO.
Oh, and then he's a super.
And then he turned into a major douchebag. But he cleaned it up after a while. But he cleaned it up. And then
are you talking about his dick or his act?
Both probably. But when his fiance cheated on him, dude, it was just I almost told him hey man, just because your girl's out fucking somebody else doesn't mean you have to keep fucking me. Stop it.
Yeah, no, absolute facts. Yes.
I wanted to say it so bad. I was just I'm almost out of this place. I don't want to ruin it for myself, so I'm going to not say anything. So, but he was sitting there yelling at me for some stupid. Oh, I know what it was. We got back from training. We got back, and then the day we got back, we went to the gym and we did legs. And the next day was supposed to be kind of a chilled PT morning, and he decided we're going to go for a fucking 5-mile run. And I fell out of that run because my legs we fucking crushed legs. And he knew we
bullet to me.
I didn't fall out because I fucking my legs were my legs were in pain. I was just like, motherfucker, dude. He's yelling at me and shit. And then he pulled me in the office later and yelled at me and shit. And this was right after he found out she was cheating on him. And he was just yelling at me. I'm like, you took us to the gym and did legs with us and then made us run. We all were struggling. All of us were struggling.
Did everybody know that he had chlamydia?
I'm pretty sure, yeah. He said, I found my fucking fiance's cheating on me. She had fucking chlamydia.
Okay, so he told everybody.
He told us, yeah. He told us.
That's where I'd have been like, bro, from all this fucking you're doing to us, I'm gonna catch the clap from you.
That would have been a good one too.
Speaking of cheating,
actually no. Before that, another thing about that.
Damn it!
It's another Marine Corps story. Another Marine Corps doing stupid shit story. So the personal information of almost 40,000 Marines were made public by accident. I'm curious by what was the accident? Was it another leak? So the personal identifiable information of approximately 39,000 Marines, sailors, and Defense Department civilians was inadvertently leaked by a U.S. Marine Corps unit, according to defense sources. The majority of those affected are assigned to the 1st Marine Expeditionary Force, USMC, officials confirmed.
So they're in California.
At the time, there was no indication that any PII, personal identifiable information, has reached anywhere other than official government channels. IMF spokesperson 2nd Lieutenant Sean Waterman told Task and Purpose, to be clear, nothing was hacked.
It's first math. That's what that means.
Whatever the fuck, I don't care. On May 9th, Combat Logistics Regiment 17 sent an email to 250 Defense Travel System travel administrators. All DTS admins were later told to delete the message.
So they sent it unfucking encrypted.
Yeah. The email included variations of the following traveler PII, full names, last 4 of their socials, electronic data, interchange personal identifiers.
Their DOD ID. Their DOD ID.
Okay.
Basically.
Email addresses, residential and mailing addresses, personal phone numbers, last 6 digits of the government travel card numbers and expiration dates, checking account and routing numbers, savings account and routing numbers. This seems like a lot more than what the fucking lieutenant said it was.
Like, I wouldn't give a shit about everything up until the checking account and routing numbers. That's pretty significant.
I mean,
everything else.
My
last 4 of your social. I don't go.
The last 4 of my social and all my fucking banking info.
Your last 4? That's not that big a deal. Your DOD ID. Fuck. That's that you can give that to anyone. That's supposed to be in place of your social.
So it's
residential mailing address. I can understand that in a little bit.
So a memo a memo that was put out said, while there's no evidence to suggest personal data was misused, it is Department of the Navy policy to appraise individuals who may have had their personal data compromised. In the May letter from the Combat Logistics Regiment 17 Colonel 17 Colonel John McElmort reads, "We recommend you visit Federal Trade Commission's website for guidance and protective action."
Oh yeah, wow.
Go to the.
That's like when the Coast Guard told people to save their money when they weren't paying everybody. Figure it the fuck out.
Go to the FTC's website and see what you can do to protect your finances because your shit got leaked.
He basically said, "Google it."
Yeah, he said, "Google that shit."
And this went unnoticed for 3 days.
Yeah, it did. It did. No, was that the one that went unnoticed for 3 days? Because there was another leak that happened that went unnoticed for 3 days.
Well, this says the mistake went unnoticed for 3 days. It was right above the massive ad.
Yeah, it seems to be the thing. So, Air Force people,
Lord.
Air Force women, Air Force people.
Yeah, there's some good ones too.
Using the fucking the military to get new tits. Airmen used free surgery from Air Force to end up on an infamous couch.
I don't believe it. You know why? You know how hard it fucking is to get one. It's an elective surgery. You get one elective surgery on active duty. One. And to get this type of surgery, let me back up. To get an elective surgery, it has to be approved, signed off by your commanding officer. Same for like corrective eye surgery. I've had corrective eye surgery. That shit went all the fucking way up to the CO and I had to approve it and it comes back down. Same for every elective surgery. To be justified for this elective surgery, the only way you can truly get it is to be justified from like a mental health professional that it's like it is dire to your self-confidence and mental well-being.
Well,
getting it done will help. That's why I don't believe that the military paid for it. I think this is a misleading article.
Okay.
That's my rant. Sorry.
She probably went that route though.
I don't know.
So
it's hard as fuck to do. It is the Air Force.
Okay, so editor's note: Jenna LaRose claims she saved up and paid for it, despite saying that they paid for the Air Force during an interview in her first adult film. All right, this article sucks now. The U.S. Air Force, the U.S. Air Force veteran got more than a ribbon rack on her chest thanks to her military service, and it's helping to launch her adult entertainment career from an all too familiar sofa.
I'm telling you, doesn't she look familiar?
I mean, you've probably seen her on shit. I don't know. I haven't watched porn in so long. She looks
like the face of Pornhub, honestly.
So U.S. Let's see. Jenna LaRose listed on her social media as an adult actress and dancer at Deja Vu Los Angeles. Previously,
that's a top-notch club.
Is it?
Yes.
I would not know. Previously served in the United States Air Force. According to an interview she conducted with an industry producer in her first video, LaRose got her generous bosoms courtesy of the U.S. taxpayer. So,
why is interview in quotations?
Because it was an interview to start. So it says, so our tax dollars paid for those. The interviewer performer of a well-known casting couch series asked LaRose. Yes, she replied. The scene was dubbed Air Force to Anal, according to LaRose's Twitter.
Air Force to Anal. From Air Force to Anal.
From Air Force to Anal. During her tenure in the USAF, LaRose was reportedly very popular. Cannot imagine why. You got a lot of attention in the Air Force, didn't you? The Cast a Couch guy asked her. Honestly, yes, she replied, adding that a lot of people still keep in touch with me. I bet. I'm pretty I believe that.
They're keeping their chances alive is what they're doing.
In fact, LaRose saved a screenshot of a conversation of someone recounted her saying, I love military men so much, I just joined. LaRose appears to have started her career early this year and only has 1,931 followers on Twitter. Wait. She started her career early this... When is this? This is from
2023.
This is from February.
Yeah, so this is very recent.
So she's only been in for like a year? Not even? She only has 1,931 followers on Twitter and 334 followers on TikTok so far. Former airman's story is not a singular incident.
Does it mean when it says started her new career? I think it's referring to the porn.
Oh, started her new career. Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
I was say you can't be doing porn in the military. You can, but not legally. Following her divorce from her now ex-husband, she too decided to pursue a life in the adult entertainment industry. What do you mean she too? Is that what he did too? So the former airman's story is not a singular incident. Kaylee Gunner was a human resource specialist in the Army who got a boob job through Tricare.
What? I want to know more about this. Who the fuck is this?
I don't know, but we'll move on. We'll look after. We'll look in a little bit. But first,
while you're continuing, I'm about to Google this.
You Google it, and then you send me the link. So everybody will know this person that we're going to talk about. And not everybody, but a lot of people in the military community know of this person because she has been a meme for Jody for the longest time. And to kind of put it into perspective, the meme is like the girl that's standing with her boyfriend at basic training, and she literally shot a porn with somebody else before the graduation of basic training. She even wore the same outfit. Like, so it was done that day. And fun story about that.
Found it.
You did?
Yes.
I'll just put it in there. We'll go over it in a second. So a man went to prison for making videos with soldier's girlfriend while he was in boot camp. Now remember this?
Fuck him.
You remember this? Remember this? Yeah. This chick here? Y'all seen her in the memes? This is a screenshot of her in the video.
Or in the video.
By the way, it's not that good. It's not that good. She's not talented. So Selena Green Vargas of Rochester, New York, is infamous for making at least 2 adult films while she was dating a U.S. Army soldier in 2014. He went away to the Army, and his girlfriend ended up doing an adult film for money, of course. He came back and found out they broke up.
Why'd you read it like that?
It's in quotes. She said,
that's not what I meant.
So so a friend of the guy who played hockey with in New York. So he went away to the Army, and his girlfriend ended up doing an adult film for the money, of course. He came back, found out, and then they broke up.
She probably played tonsil hockey.
He also said, I suppose they were still on good terms because when he went away for a second time, he lent her his car. He said during this time, she also did a second porn. You don't fucking learn your lesson, do you, dude? God damn.
Maybe he didn't know. Did he know about the first one?
Yeah, his friend even said that he found out when he came back and broke up with her, but they were still on good terms. So he let her borrow his car, and when he deployed again or went away again, and she did another one.
Dude had to be a virgin and had never fucked anybody else.
I don't know. A photo of
there's no fucking way.
So a photo of the couple went viral after somebody claiming to be a soldier posted it to 4chan, an image board website where users generally post anonymously. It did not take long for 4chan users to identify the girl as an adult film actress. We're using that a little fucking loosely there.
She's just a hoe.
The users would have likely found her no matter what, but it was easier for them as she did not use a stage name and wore the same clothes to her boyfriend's graduation as she wore in her films.
The disrespect.
She didn't even use a fake name and change her clothes. She wore the same shit and used her real fucking legal name. While
she going into the graduation, cum stains.
Can you imagine? It's like, what's on your shirt, babe? Like, oh, it's toothpaste. Oh, okay. Why does it smell?
It was a rough morning. I had to get together fast.
Why does the toothpaste smell like musty and not minty? While it's not uncommon for infidelity to occur while soldiers are away, this story is unique because of the power of social media and the internet keeping the story of her infidelity alive forever. Vargas's film was produced by a now defunct company, but the video still exists on the internet despite her allegedly being told by an employer it was necessary for her to have them removed.
You'll never remove it.
No.
Things there forever.
Things on the internet stay there. And it's funny that her employer said, I know who you are. You need to have them remove that.
It's because it's a bad look for the company.
The owner of the website was found guilty of intimidating and coercing 22 women into having sex on camera in 2019. Ruben Andre Garcia, the other producers, bullied the women and lied about how widely they distribute the videos, Vice News reported.
They're just doing it and just like keeping it for themselves.
Pretty much. Garcia, who was a male performer in the majority of the videos, was sentenced to 20 years in prison by a federal court in California in June of 2021. The producers told the women that the videos would only be distributed abroad and private collectors, but appeared on their adult film website. The videos also reached millions of viewers after being uploaded and eventually being mirrored on other adult sites, probably Pornhub.
Well, now it wouldn't be on Pornhub. You can only actually have stuff on Pornhub if you own the content. It's a lot like a verified. It's like the verified version of. It's like the YouTube of porn. Because it's actually like verified shit now. Because of like the whole thing that went down with the U.S. cracking down on stuff.
Yeah. So according to Vice, the women were doxxed on the sites and led to the women being harassed at their jobs and schools. Vargas apparently tried to have the videos removed after her employer Toddler's Workshop. I work with children. Great. And Webster, New York told her to have them taken down. Multiple women said the harassment was so vicious they've contemplated suicide.
Oh, I'm sure. Because
I believe it.
None of these women were borderline at all.
Oh, look, here's the consequence.
Clear. I bet half of these women were probably borderline.
Selena Green Vargas. I wonder what she looks like now.
So the dude went to prison for. He was kind of being.
I didn't want to actually look at the porn. I wanted to. I got. Crap, I'm gonna have to edit that. Son of a bitch.
Keep the audio, just edit the picture. Just blur everything. Add a blur over it.
Of course, I didn't have us on the group photos when I was looking at that. I'm an idiot. I am so dumb. All right, what was the
add a blur, because you got to keep that in there.
I could probably either put a blur or I could just zoom in my face or something.
I sent it to you.
Yes, I got it. So this is like oh look, CMG's on here. Checkmate Gaming. Oh shit!
What did you just do?
It's an empty can, thank God. So CMG is one of our new partners for our esports platform. I've seen this person before.
I'm sure you have.
I mean, I've seen her like on like gear site, like gear Instagram pages and stuff like that. So Army Sergeant had the military give her implants for her mental health, but then started doing adult entertainment on active duty. I need it for my mental health. You need it for the money. Let's be honest. You want to do it so you can fuck on the internet. An adult actress reportedly used her time in service to get assets she needed to succeed, all due to the little loophole in the military medical system. Kaylee Gunner was a human resource specialist in the Army, but decided to embark on a new career after her divorce and her now ex-husband.
Shocking. There's no way her real name is Kaylee
I'm noticing
Gunner.
a trend here. They're all divorced. So Kylie Gunner is a human resource I already said that. On the Holly Randall Unfiltered podcast, Gunner claimed that she was directed by her regular surgeon to an Air Force surgeon, especially if she wanted breast implants. I told my surgeon about my situation with my husband and that we got divorced, and he would joke with me about my boobs a lot, she recalled. If you have any sort of mental problem with your body or body dysmorphia, they'll give you free cosmetic surgery because they want all their soldiers to be confident. He was like, I would love for you to be my guinea pig and send you up there to see how it turns out. So it was a free boob. So it was a free boob job. That's a very strange thing for her doctor to say.
I feel like she's paraphrasing quite a bit.
So it worked. The military approved Army Sergeant to get what she wanted for free. The Air Force does amazing boobs, she said. I salute the Air Force.
Because they were the surgeons that did it.
Gunner admits she didn't want to begin her adult career until after she left the Army, something which is a violation of the UCMJ. I actually started camming while I was in the military, which is not allowed. I did it in my last year because I wasn't making any money. I met some girls who were cam girls, and I was like, you're making what? You're making what I make in a year, but in a month. I need to do what you're doing. So when I saw I was getting comfortable with that, I could get out of the Army and survive. She even highlights her military service as her adult videos. For example, one titled Ex-Military First-Timer Kaylee Gunner Gets What? Gets what?
Don't leave us hanging.
The adult actress now wonders if her surgeon has seen his handiwork since her discharge. It's so funny because when I was getting my boobs done, the doctor said, I don't want to give you porn star boobs. You don't need huge boobs. And the irony that I'm a porn star now.
That's pretty funny. Well, because they do actually look relatively natural.
What would they call that program? It's not helmets to hard hats. It's helmets to hard cocks, I guess.
Or that's a new term of helmet head.
Totally. God, I'm going to have to edit that. I'm going to have to really look in that one to edit it. Fuck.
Honestly, he did a good job. They look pretty natural.
Yeah, he did a great job. Good job. Good job, doctor. I don't know what to say.
Is the woman still there?
Yeah, she's right here knitting.
Oh, yeah, no, you're right.
She's probably wondering why I have like why am I pulling up photos of these chicks? And it's like it's just for the article, honey. As
I promise. I swear.
I accidentally pull up fucking porn.
Is the porn for the article too? It is. I promise. I swear.
No, trust me, it's not that good. It's not something I would watch anyway. But
no, it's just like terrible acting. Why is terrible acting?
What did you say? All you keep hearing is corn? Yeah. She's like, all I keep hearing is porn in the background.
Yeah.
Like us saying porn, not like she doesn't hear like the actual fucking porn. Oh my God. White trash cum dump. Well, what?
Why did I just hear white trash?
I'm a hot white trash cum dump.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, yeah. So this was a good one, huh? This is a good time.
This will be hilarious.
Yeah.
Can't wait for people to get to this part.
Yeah, this is going to be.
This has got to be one of the articles that you front load.
Oh, are you talking about how
like when you do the little clip or whatever?
It's going to be. It's going to be. I'm definitely going to put her in the thumbnail though. I gotta put the infamous Jody meme in the thumbnail. It must be done. But what do you got? Any plans for this weekend?
Yeah, I'm probably going to be volunteering with Grunt Style for the Patriotic Festival for Memorial Day this weekend.
Fuck yeah. I'm going to UP, Michigan. Taking the dogs. Me and
Why are
the
you
wife.
being in Michigan?
Her parents are up there. We're going to go. Her parents are staying up there right now. We're going to go out there and visit and bring the dogs.
Are they peeing there too?
Huh?
Never mind.
What?
They went over your head. It's okay.
I didn't hear what you said.
I said, are they peeing there too?
Are my dogs peeing there too?
It's okay.
I don't understand what you're getting at with this.
No, it's okay. The audience might catch it. Did they move to Michigan?
They might be. They're going to stay up there for about a year to see how it is. They have another property up there.
Tell them to get a lot of bottled water.
Not that part of Michigan, dude. UP, Michigan.
I don't want to drink people's pee.
Oh, you're talking about the Flint shit?
All of the above.
It's not even the same part of Michigan, dude.
I know it's not.
Whatever. Anyway, thanks everybody for hanging out with us on this Smoke Pit podcast. Have a safe Memorial weekend. Remember what the weekend's for. Like the video, subscribe, share it to everybody. Remember what Memorial Weekend's for. Don't forget. Always honor those that never made it home, those that we lost when they got home. So
yeah, if you're still here, fuck you. It's not your weekend.
Okay. And also, kind of a caveat on that with some mental health stuff. If you're going through some tough times and you're a vet, contact Stack Up. They're always there 24/7, especially this weekend. This weekend's going to be hard on a lot of people. So don't be afraid to reach out to Stack Up. They'll give you the resources that you need. You've already seen their plug in this video by the time you get to this. So I highly encourage you go to their Stop program that they have and talk to somebody and get help. So
I'll talk to anybody.
Talk to anybody. Yeah. Call your buddy. Also, yeah, call your buddies. Like, call your friends. Do some buddy checks. Check up on all your friends. It's tough if it's tough on you, it's tough on them too. So check in on your friends.
Send this podcast to someone you served with, because social connection saves lives.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Anyway, with that, we love you guys. We appreciate y'all. We'll see you on the next episode of the Smoke Pit. We might actually be called something else by that point. So we'll see. Anyway, bye guys.